Hello and welcome to next session on SAP RAP Unmanaged Scenario Series. So in today's session, we will continue on a composition tree. In this, we will go and add our address entity to our contact entity and see how we should go about doing it. For past so many videos, we have already completed our CRUD operation for the contact entities along with um, the concept of feature instance and everything. So today onwards, we will start on adding the composition tree. Now, some of the concepts here are pretty much similar to what we have already seen in our managed scenario. Okay. So I will not be going and doing a complete hands-on uh, every time because most of the code that we will be actually writing would be pretty much similar to what we have already written for our managed scenario, guys. So what are we going to do today is just take our GMAKS CONTADD, that is the address one, okay, link it as as a composition to the contact so that for addresses will be a child to a contact, okay, and this we have already seen is already having a gender value help, right, that we have already added. This is the same thing that we have seen in our managed scenario as well, and I will not be going to show you the complete step by step writing the code, but the steps that will be involved here is we will just go and create an interface entity for our address, create a metadata extension for the address, add association to parent in contact because that is how the linkage between the contact and the address will be set up. Then add a composition of address into our contact entity and then change the metadata of the contact entity to incorporate the uh, another facet as a table there that we can show. Similarly, the uh, create a consumption entry for contact and add redirected to composition child in the contact entity and redirected to parent in address entity. And all these steps we have already seen in our manage scenario series where we have gone and added a composition to this. If you want to know more about the complete step by step there, please visit my manage scenario series, uh, and the video would be on adding composition tree. Okay, so let us now get into the system and see what we have to go and do in order to add our composition to composition address to our contact. Okay, so let me now go to my Eclipse now, guys. Okay, and in our Eclipse, the first thing we have already is a contact contact interface that we have already created, and we had an association to gender H. Okay, that we already have. Now we have to create one more data definition here. Again, right click, go to data definition. Let me show you that as well. New data definition GMAKS I CONTADDR. So interface for address unmanaged. Reference object will be GMAKS CONTS contact CONTADDRM. Now similar to address I have similar to contact, I have also created CO entity ADDR that I will show you soon. Okay. Now take this and now our select the TR, say next. Here we say define view entity, guys. Okay. And it will give us the entity which will be for our address. Okay. Now how we are going to do the linkage? Let me quickly activate this. And the linkage will be done here by adding composition composition to GMAKSICONT composition of CONT ADDR U, as I am saying this will be our address. Okay. And this address also now we have to go and expose here, guys. Okay. Now composition of this. Now what it is saying, it does not have a two parent association. Okay. So we should come here and we should say here association to parent, and our parent entity will be GMAKSICONT contact you as contact, right? Whenever we say association, we always have on dollar projection dot contact ID will be equal to our contact association dot contact ID. Okay, contact ID. Mm. And of course, we will have to now go and expose the contact also here. Okay. Similarly, two times, sorry. Okay, and now we should go and activate both of them together. Okay. So this is now been added. Now, similarly, we will have to also go and create the consumption view on top of this, right? So again, I'll say new behavior definition. Sorry, new data definition. Let me show you that as well quickly. Right click, say new data definition on the same thing, and we will say ZMAKS instead of I. Now this will be C contact address U, and we will say consumption entity for address, not custom entity, but projection entity address unmanaged. Say next, select the TR next, and here we have to select the projection as we know already. Define projection view. So it will now create a projection view for us as well as we can see here. Okay. Now you see here what has happened. It is now giving the warning to us that the transactional provider contract in contract is not there. Okay, as usual, provider contract as transactional query. Okay, Fine. Sorry, we don't need it because this is not a root view. Okay. Now here you see it has got a contact here. Now here we should say redirected to this parent. Contact is a parent and the parent is GMAKSC contact you. Okay. Similarly in our contact, now see what are the artifacts that we have created in the system now. Okay. Now first thing I have created a contact address interface. Okay, that will have association to the parent contact and the contact will be exposed. Similarly, we need a projection entity on contact that will also have a contact. Now, how these two will be linked is you have to go to your projection view of your contact and add an address there that will be redirected to composition child consumption view of the address unmanaged. Similarly, in the consumption view of our address, we will say redirected to parent. Okay. Also, I have added a metadata extension allowed is equal to true so that we can create one more metadata extension. Now, there will be two changes to the metadata extension. Number one is if we go here on the uh, contact, we have added one metadata extension here, okay, which is for our address, okay, and the address is the underscore address composition is added as a line item reference. So this will show us in table, right? That is one thing that we have done here. And then we have created a brand new uh, metadata extension for our address. Here it is pretty simple, just a identification reference, guys, to display all the data. Now on the line item, I am just showing uh, only the address serial number, okay, to my line item. Address ID also I don't need to show it on my line item. No, sorry, address ID is hidden. So address serial number, then address 1, address 2, and city. That is what I'm showing. Okay, some of them. And then we have to now go and start creating the behavior definition. And as you know, that the behavior definition, we will not create a separate behavior definition, guys. On the same root entity behavior, all the child entity behavior should be included. That we have seen in our managed scenario as well. So let me go and add one more behavior definition for our address now. Okay, let me quickly do that and get back. So the behavior definition for our address will be unmanaged address. Again, I will be implementing the uh, address in a separate class for contact address. Okay, here also we will be using the late numbering. Okay, uh, or no, we have to use late numbering because we need the contact ID and the serial number, right? So late numbering we will use here. Now here, lock will be dependent by the contact, authorization will be dependent by contact. Some fields which are read only, and then a mapping. And guys, I have also created this structure which is similar to our contact uh, control structure. Similarly, it will have all the fields with XSD boolean for all our contact address field here. Okay. Now, once this is done, okay, this is the brand new implementation that you have to go and write in your behavior pool of a behavior definition of the root entity. At the same time, you will also have to add an association here, right, with the address. Okay, this is also now there. Now, as soon as we go and do an association here, you see, create by association address is not implemented, read by association address is not implemented. These two things that we will be getting here. So now what we have to do is we will have to actually go and do a quick fix there. Again, control one, guys, and then you say add all missing implementations, and this will go and create two methods for us. You see, it has created RBA address and CBA address. Where it has gone and created? In our mm, in our unmanaged contact. Okay, remember this point. So the all the composition, the even if you have created a separate behavior pool for our address entity, it is not going to work out, guys, because they both are dependent, right? Composition and uh, child and parent relationship. So in that case, it will always be created in the parent entity, and the two methods that will be created will be read by association and create by association. Okay, let me activate this quickly. And these two methods going ahead, we will have to implement. We will see how we can actually go about doing that. And similarly, at the same time, this table, this class also I am going and implementing, guys. Okay, so it will create a brand new class. Let me activate this again. And once it is activated, we can go and create our behavior implementation class as well. Again, the same thing, control one, okay, give the name behavior of the behavior implementation, just click next and say, now here you see, it has also got its update, delete and read. Okay, one thing you should notice here, guys, that there is no create method as we have seen in our contact entity. We have create, update and delete, but here there is no create method will not be given to us, because create is always dependent on the parent entity, which is nothing but our contact entity. And that is the reason, if you go and see the class for our contact BP, this has now read by association and create by association. Okay, remember these 2 points. So let me activate all of things and let us see how this is going to impact our application now. But before we actually go and do that, we have to expose this entity as well. So let us go to our business service and our service definition. And here we will have to now expose our GMAKS C contact ADDR as contact unmanaged address. Okay, that is how I am going to go and actually expose this. Finally, we will go here and then execute our thing. Okay, as you can see now, previously we only had unmanaged contact. Now unmanaged contact is having a child relation to address. Similarly, address is having a parent relationship with the child. So there is a tree-like structure, right? Both are interdependent on each other. Okay, and that will also be added here. Our main root entity is this. This is what we have to go and select and do a preview here. Okay, so let me now go to our browser, guys, and let us see what and how our application is working. So here I am just going and doing a go button here. Okay. And let us go and check for Victoria Pinto. You see now what has happened is there are two facets that are being shown here. Okay. This is what we had already for first name, middle name, last name, gender. Okay. Now one more facet is been added here as a table facet that will show something. Okay. Previously I had created in my earlier videos, right? I have created something on the address also, and that address is also shown here. You see. Okay. Since we are using the same table that we have created for our managed scenario, some of the addresses that is actually been taken here directly, right? So now we have not implemented any read by association, any create by association so far, guys. Okay. What we have done is we have just gone and added our uh, uh, metadata extension. Okay. That is actually showing the data to us here quickly. Okay. So let us go and once again understand what are the things that we have gone and done in our Eclipse. So let me show you that quickly once again. Let me close this. Okay. Now, okay, what we have gone and done in our contact entity, we have added address. Now, before we do that, I have just gone and created my interface view. Okay. For my, let me close everything and show you again. So first thing that we have done is we have done a address interface entity. We have created that, which has got association to parent contact. Okay. The contact interface. Then we have gone and created a projection view out of that contact, which will also have a association contact, which will redirect to parent contact. Then what we have done, we have gone to our interface contact and we have added a composition here. And finally, that composition of address that we have actually exposed here, and in our contact address composition, in our contact composition, we have just added this. Now everything that we have done here, we have just gone and activated everything at a shot. Okay. Since they all are interlinked, you should activate them at once. Finally, we have gone and added our uh, consumption view, sorry, our behavior definition. And here also, we have just gone and added an association here, and then a complete behavior definition for update, delete, and the association contact, because they both are interlinked. And then the mapping address. We have forgot to actually utilize that in our the projection behavior, guys. Okay. Still the read will work, but create an update will not work. So let me come here and I will add here ADDR. Okay. And here we will say as address. Create will not be there, only update will be there, and use association, and the association will be contact here, right? Similarly, we will have to go and use an association, and that is where you see composition association address is not being included. That is what we are getting. So you have to use association, and here the association will be address. Okay. There are two associations, gender also, but gender is a value help that will be incorporated. Yeah. So this is what we have done. Finally, we have gone and added our service definition and exposed our address entity also as a unmanaged UNMGD underscore address entity. And that is something that you will see in your service binding now. Finally, that is been actually shown there. Okay.
That is how we add the associated entries to our application, guys. Hope this was understandable. Requesting you to please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon, share it with others so that the others also get benefited. And if you want to actually support me, you can scan the QR code to support my channel. You can also support my channel by joining the channel, becoming a member, wherein you will be actually getting the benefit of utilizing the source code. And I will also create in future some of the videos that is specifically made for the members only, so that wherein I will show on how we can do it. It will be a long videos which will be a practical hands-on and stuff like that. So become a member and get benefited and learn a lot. With that, I would like to stop here. Thank you and happy learning.